Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome on in. Welcome to the 411 podcast. Now, I must say that intro, that one was rocking too. I definitely did enjoy that intro. I could have let that one play for a little bit, but welcome on in. Welcome on in. Mental Mondays, the 411 podcast mentorship series. We are doing it. Now, I want to make sure that I got this right. Yeah, I got this right. So we on point here. Mental Mondays. Welcome on in to the 411 podcast. Tonight, we speaking about invisible weight. This 5 restoration 411 podcast, reading between the wines, mentorship series. Welcome on. But before we go ahead and get started, of course, I want to go ahead and give a very special thank you to my executive producer. Thank you, God, for giving me another opportunity to come out here and give you the 411 podcast. Thank you so much. Everyone out there on Facebook, I appreciate you. Instagram, thank you so much. From all over, we've had D-Live, family waking up. So wherever you're streaming from, wherever you're listening from, wherever you are calling from, please drop it in the comments. Let me know where you're from. You can also DM me, whatever. Just give me some feedback on the show, the new format. Let me know how we doing out there tonight. So, Mental Mondays, every single Monday, right here, the 411 podcast, we are diving in to the mental aspect of debt-free living. Right here, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are interested in all of this that we have going on here, just stick around. Tuesdays, we have Transformational Tuesdays. Wednesday, if you come back, we have Wind Down Wednesday. You get to wind down with me with some wine. We got some books. We have a special guest as well. Thursday, we have coaching sessions Thursday. It's a wild card. You never know what you're going to get on Thursday. We can take it over to the mental aspect. We might take it to the physical aspect. We might even go back to the spiritual aspect. But you're always going to get something that is going to help educate you. It is going to help encourage you. It is going to empower you and help elevate you to the next level. And we close out the week with Financial Fridays, a really deep dive in to the financial aspect of debt-free living. So you get all of that with the mentorship series, and you will also get to hear from my students as well. They'll be coming in as well from time to time, popping in from sessions here or there. So this is family. We all family. So please help support the movement. Please help support the program. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, tag a friend. Let them know what we have going on. So I want to go ahead and give a recap of what we discussed on the last episode. So the last episode, we spoke about the side hustle trap. So there is a thing when you are passionate about something. I know because I'm passionate about what I'm doing here. Otherwise, I would not be here. For those of you out there, I'm sure that you have some things that you're passionate about as well. The list can go on from A to Z. So, we're not even going to get into the different things that anybody could be passionate about because it's your own personal preference and it's your own hobby. It's your own thing. So, but just as I'm going through this, think about one thing that you're passionate about. So I understand that people can be passionate about something. Dreams are so important. I spoke previously that we have all been tricked. We have all been tricked to not dream. Think about, some of you, I know I can relate when I was in school or, even sometimes family members are, the reason of this too. Stop daydreaming. Oh, that's for those types of people. You may not be able to do it. Think again. Like, that's never going to happen. So when we listen to think again, that's never going to happen. For this select group of people, you ain't this. I was always told that too. You're not that. You're not them. So when we listen to those types of things, we stop dreaming. And when you stop dreaming, I truly believe that you stop living, and at least living for you, and you start to pick up and live for somebody else. So dreams are so important. So never stop dreaming. Always think big. Always do big. And life is important. And we all need to live. We all need to eat. We all need to breathe. We all need to do whatever we have to do to keep ourselves moving in this atmosphere. And if you want to do some of the things that you want to do, if you want to continue to dream big, if you want to continue to live big, you're going to have to get your financial aspect in line. I know I had to do that because all those dreams that I was thinking of, all of those big adventures that I wanted to go on, all of the great things that I want to do in life, I understood that if I didn't get my finances in order, if I didn't get some sort of game plan in line, if I didn't start to look at the future, then all of that dreaming big would have been stomped out. It would have been fizzled out, and I would have been forced. A lot of us are forced to live a life that we didn't sign up for because we were not able to plan for our dreams and plan for our future. Living debt free living in this financial journey and taking care of your responsibilities isn't, oh, I said that too quick. It isn't a joke. And you're here tonight. So that's, might be the beginning stages for some people. Some people, they might just be stopping by for the first time and you don't even know what this is about. So stick around long enough and you might find out. But for those of you who came here with a purpose tonight, you came here looking for some information, you came here looking for some education, the beginning stages can be an uphill battle. Trust and believe. I understand and I know exactly where you're coming from. And it's so easy to be defeated. It's so easy to feel like you want to go ahead and throw the towel in. I get it. I've been there and I've done that. And I'm not going to say that every day is a great day. I'm not going to say that every day is a perfect day. But think about that dream. Think about that end game. Think about where you want to be 5, 10, 15 years from now. And then that will keep you on track. Peace of mind is everything. Now, when you have so much debt, you can't sleep, you owe this person, you owe that person, you're robbing this person to pay this one, robbing Peter to pay Paul, your peace of mind gets disrupted and things can get twisted around. And next thing you know, you are stepping out of your character or you're just not in character. So today, and I feel great about this because it's living, I'm living proof of this and I see it and I experience it every single day. Today, I can give people the peace of my mind instead of always running around trying to give somebody a piece of my mind. See, I'm going to say that again. Today, I can give people the peace of my mind. The peace of my mind instead of running around and trying to give people a piece of my mind, because now the peace of my mind is giving you love, is giving you joy, giving you encouragement, giving you inspiration, giving you motivation. And while I'm giving that to you, I'm giving it back to myself because we are all mirrors. We're all one and the same. We are all interconnected. See, prior, when I was living from a lower vibrational standpoint, when I was doing all of those things that I spoke about previously, robbing Peter to pay Paul, living beyond my means, trying to keep up with the Joneses, always wanting what somebody else wanted, going here and going there just to get along with the get along, just to try to get in where I fit in. I was not able to give anybody the peace of my mind, but I was sure giving people a piece of my mind because I was unhappy. I didn't know who I was. And I was operating from a lower vibrational standpoint. That was just so profound. I had to go ahead and take a little pause myself, but it's good. It's good to dream big and it's good to have big goals and all of those great things. And sometimes when we want some things I spoke about, it's great that you want it, but just not yet. I understand that you want to get to A, B, C, D, and E. But for those of you who are just starting, those of you that might be in a situation, those who might be experiencing a setback, but just not yet. Not saying that you can't get there, but just not yet. And we get into some situations and we get into some problems and we get into just a lot of nonsense when we can't listen to our intuition. We can't listen to that inner voice that says just not yet. See, sometimes we get in the way and we feel that we want to do what we know how to do. And when we do what we know how to do, we just get what we're going to get. So just make sure, for those of you out there, when we spoke about this side hustle trap, no matter what you get into, no matter what you want to do, There's nothing wrong with dreaming big. And if the people around you think that you are crazy, they think that it's never going to happen, they think that it's just so bizarre, don't be so quick to give up on that big old dream. Don't be so quick to give up on that plan, because if everybody agreed with it, if everybody understood it, and everybody wanted to do it, it would be just so simple and so easy, and everybody would be able to do it. But you want to pick some of the things that some of the people next to you might think is bizarre, might think is crazy, might think it's out of the box, especially something that's never been done before. Because when that happens, you might just be on to something. And it's okay. Dream big, think big, focus on that side hustle if you want to. Write out your plans, come up with a game plan, come up with a plan B and a plan C in case that don't work. Make sure that it's all mapped out. Know what you're getting yourself into before pressing play. Make sure that it makes sense. And when I say make sure that it makes sense, I'm speaking in both aspects. Make sure that it makes sense and make sure that it literally makes sense, because there is no reason to put yourself into a situation, no reason to try to open up that business, no reason to try to put yourself into any type of thing that is going to be taking money away from you or not giving you that hustle that you want, giving you that extra bread that you want, giving you that extra that you want. So just be very careful of that. Luke 14:28. For which of you, intended to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? Right there, plain and simple. For which of you, intended to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? Now, I was a victim of that. I can sit here and tell you this here today, and I say it with conviction because I was that type of person. That I'm a dreamer. I love to dream, and I love to vision myself in bigger and better places than am here today. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here podcasting and giving you this 411 podcast, because before all of the lights, cameras, action, before all of this came about in 2020, I was dreaming big. Prior to that, I was dreaming big. I was thinking big, and I was coming up with the game plan. But I will tell you, I didn't sit down first, and I didn't count the cost first, and I didn't go through all of those things first. And it caused a lot of stress. It caused a lot of extraness, and I had to do some backflips to make sure that we're still here today. And I wouldn't have it any other way, because without all of that, we wouldn't be here. And I wouldn't be here speaking of the things that I'm speaking of and stepping into my purpose and doing the things that I'm doing. So everything happens for good. But now that I know better, it's just my job, give to the people, give to the community, so that you don't make the same mistakes that I've made. Now, for those of you who don't want to listen and you want to do it your way, that's fine. I get it too, because I was that person too, where let me just go ahead and find out for myself. And sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. That is the best way to learn, is when you bump your head and you make mistakes. But if you can learn from somebody along the way so that you don't make those same mistakes, that's also a plus as well. But we all learn differently. We all pick up things on different terms and different timelines and different frequencies. So, hey, I get it. But on that note, welcome on in to the 411 podcast, track 12, Invisible Weight, disc 5 restoration. We're going to get into the song of the day, Diamonds, by none other than the Queen Bee, Miss Lil Kim, featuring Kelly Price. Now, this song was not actually released. It's sort of a hidden gem. It's an unreleased song, and I believe that it was dropped somewhere between her hardcore album and Notorious K.I.M., somewhere in between. So we're just gonna say 2000. If I'm wrong, it is what it is. The real Lil Kim fans out there, if y'all know exactly when this came out, you can also let me know that as well. But one of my favorite albums too, Notorious K.I.M. But this song is Diamonds, featuring Kelly Price. And we're speaking about invisible weight. This is Mental Mondays. And of course, this song speaks of the lavish life, living big, wanting diamonds. You can hear Kelly Price in the background saying over and over again that she wants diamonds. And that's what they speak about. All of the luxury, the high living, high price life. That's what I call it, the high price life. And if you were able to experience it, great. We all have fallen into this trap at one point in our lives of living beyond our means, living that high price life, buying expensive things, whether it's jewelry, cars, clothes, whatever the case may be, focusing on the outer more than we focus on the inner. Listen, I don't know who I'm speaking to. I'm just speaking from experience, but I've been there and I can relate. And some of us are stuck into this trap. Some of us have just gotten out. Some of us are swiping our way into this situation right now as we speak with credit cards and personal loans and debt that they might not even know what they're doing. They're just doing what they were told. They were just doing what they were taught. More is caught than more is taught. So they might be mimicking and they might be subconsciously picking up some things that they've seen their parents, their grandparents, aunties, uncles, siblings, who knows? But some of us will escape. Some of us will never escape. And just like the Pussycat Dolls, one of my favorite songs from them, their line is, "Be careful what you wish for because you just might get it." You just might get it. So, and when you get it, just make sure that you're mentally prepared to be able to handle it. Because the heavy load, sometimes it's real heavy and it's hard. And it takes multiple people to pull you up and try to uphold and keep it going. So just be careful because whatever you wish for, you just might get it. And the 10th commandment says, "Thou shalt not covet." And I'm so thankful that I obey this today and I understand and I know that I don't want anything that anybody else has. Prior to that, the older version of me, I always wanted what everybody else had. And I had an attitude when I couldn't get what everybody else had. And if my car didn't look like yours and my clothes didn't look like yours, and I didn't go to some of the places that you went to, and my house didn't look like your house, and this and that, the next, the other, I was very unhappy and I was very just a not nice person. I'll put it that way. So, and that came from me wanting, and that came from me, it came from just the spirit of covetousness. And I am so thankful that I have been delivered from that spirit. And we all have to go through our journey. We all have to we all have to experience it at different times. And listen, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. There's a price to live that high price, lavish life. And it comes in the form of debt. It comes in the form of sleepless nights. It comes in the form of needing to work extra. It comes in the form of not being the person that you were put on this earth to be and living the life that somebody else wants you to live. Just plain and simple. Anyway, welcome on in, and hopefully, that message that gets to one person. I'm not here to try to move the masses. As long as I get to just one person, there's a breakthrough on one end. Listen, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on X, we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, we're on D Live, Twitch, Daily Motion. And I must say that I am very thankful because we had some restrictions on a specific platform, but we won the case and videos are now available to the public. So the full episodes of Dis 5 Restoration are up and running on all platforms. No need to worry about anything being restricted. No need to worry about signing into a specific account and only being able to see this video, that video, this video. So listen, there's a message out there for anybody who's out there listening, no matter what platform you're on. Also, we're on Spotify, we're on iHeartRadio, We are on Deezer. We're on Amazon Music. We're on so many different platforms. So this is a big movement. This is a big step. This is a big, it's big for me compared to where I was in 2020 when I had 19 people following only on Instagram. And then from there, we've expanded to so many different areas and so many different levels. So, again, I could not do any of this without each and every one of you out there supporting and rocking and liking, commenting, sharing, stopping by. It's never a dull moment. And I want to say thank you all for that. So, now tonight, we're going to head on over to one of my favorite states. Remember dreaming big, one of my favorite states. We're going to be in the desert one day. We're going to head on over to California. We're going to help out Miss Sabrina tonight, 33 years old. Sabrina is a mental health advocate, and she is a social media content creator. And some of these stories, some of these burning questions, they just start to be real similar to some places that I've been. I don't know who I'm speaking to tonight, but I'm speaking from experience. Some of these scenarios just be so close to home. So if I start to get amped up about it, that's only because I have that true, real experience and I know exactly, where we're coming from tonight. So Sabrina talks positivity. I'll back that up. Miss Sabrina talks positivity online, but silently battles depression and $38,000 in credit card debt. She's addicted to online shopping and buys new to avoid facing her loneliness. She feels like a fraud. Mentally, she's strong on the outside, but mentally fragile on the inside. I'll take us through that scenario again. Miss Sabrina talks positivity online, but silently battles depression, and she is in over $38,000 in credit card debt. She's addicted to online shopping and buys new things to avoid facing her loneliness. She feels like a fraud, mentally strong on the outside, but mentally fragile on the inside. So, we're here to help tonight. And we're here to have some breakthrough moments, not only for you, but only for, before myself as well. So, I get it because I've been here before. I started in 2020, started the 401 podcast. I had no idea what I was doing. And when I started this podcast, I was in all types of debt. Sabrina has $38,000 worth of debt. I was in far more than that. Had no idea how I was getting out. Didn't think that I would ever get out. And I was in a tough situation. Depression sounds very similar. Didn't like myself. Didn't like anybody. Hell, I didn't like myself, so I didn't like anybody around me either. Um, she's addicted to online shopping. However, I wasn't addicted to online shopping, but let me tell you, peer pressure, you know what they say about peer pressure. Um, I was fighting to try to do the right thing, but I was surrounded by a bunch of people who wanted to do the wrong thing. Excuse me one second. Definitely had to get that together because I'm sure y'all didn't want to hear me coughing all over. So had to take a little break with that. Hold on one second. That's that is one of the worst things when you are in radio, when you have to cough when you're recording. But so I was surrounded by a bunch of people who wanted to do wanted to do the wrong thing. So I wanted to do the right thing, and I wanted to get out of debt, and I wanted to experience this debt-free living like I know that it's about. I didn't know all of it, but I did know some of the basics about debt free living. And I was just surrounded by the wrong people. And because of that, it became fighting for my life, literally fighting for my life. And so it wasn't necessarily online shopping for me. It wasn't buying extra things. It was trying to stop it from happening. Now, when you're not in control of your finances and you have other factors that are draining your pockets, whether it's people, places, things that you've signed yourself up to, um, it's a rough situation. And this one here, it seems like Sabrina is in complete control. She don't. Again, I just know what this scenario is right here. She doesn't have anybody leeching from her. She doesn't have anybody stealing from her. She doesn't have anybody encouraging her. Maybe she does. Maybe she has some friends that she's trying to keep up with because all of the online shopping and things like that and buying new things to avoid loneliness, that could be a problem. There are people who shop when they're depressed. Clothes, jewelry, they think that those things are going to make them feel better, but the work starts within. And you can dress it up on the outside all you want. If you don't take care of what needs to be taken care of on the inside, the minute after you buy that, the minute after you swipe the card, you may wear the dress one time, you may wear the sneakers a couple times. After a while, that's going to fade. I used to do it with cars. I would be like, I'm kind of bored of this card. I think the car, I want to go get me another one. And about like a week or two, it would fade after people stopped saying, oh my God, you got a new car. Oh, it's this and that. And, I thought that that was like making me feel better. But after that faded, I was sitting here not only falling into more depression, now I'm looking at this bill that I have that's going to be coming in every month. And now we just signed ourselves up for 3 years worth of nonsense. Now it's so easy, they'll just sign you up for 5 years worth of nonsense. And the prices have gone up compared to what it was years ago. Most people that I talk to when I'm going through my coaching sessions, they're paying about anywhere between $800 to $1,000 a month for car payments. So, for those of you out there who are buying things to avoid loneliness like Sabrina, you won't be lonely after a while because you'll definitely have some bills that'll be coming in the mail that will keep you some company. So I'd be very cautious about that. Now, with her feeling like a fraud, mentally strong on the outside, but mentally fragile on the inside, it's because it's backwards. See, we have to feel good on the inside, and then we start to feel strong on the outside. But it starts within first. Everything starts with self. So instead of trying to dress up the outside, making the outside look good, that's what man does. We want to look at the outer appearance. We don't focus on the inner. We focus so much on the outer. This person has this person has that. This person looks like this person looks that. I want to look like this. I want to do that. Instead of focusing on the inner, naturally, that's what man does, focuses on the outer appearance. So anybody out there who might be experiencing anything like Sabrina, you want to focus on the inner first. Heal yourself first on the inner. Get yourself together on the inside, and then it'll start to pour on the outside. And you won't need to worry about loneliness. You won't need to worry about any of that because you're going to have so many people and so many opportunities and so many things that will be coming to you that sometimes it'll be exhausting. So many people will want to hang out with you. So many people will want to be around you because you will become a blessing to so many people in different ways because you've done your inner work first. Especially if you're a content creator, especially if you are speaking positivity, especially if you are coming from a place of love. There's a bunch of people out there that has all kinds of nonsense on the internet, all types of stuff where they're bringing people down, all types of evilness. And I just sit back and I look at all of the people that follow them that are in that same mind frame. So now if they can do it and they're coming from trolling, they're coming from, trying to tear people down, they're coming from reposting stuff that's ignorant, they come from lower vibrational standpoints, lower vibrational frequencies, there's no reason why you wouldn't be able to do it, especially when you're trying to uplift and help people get to the next level. But it's just backwards. Ask me how I know. I've done it before. I've been that before. That's why in 2022, I had to step away because I knew that it was going in the wrong direction. Saying one thing, but then behind the scenes, whenever the cameras, whenever the podcast wasn't recording, whenever I had to face reality. And then I had to look and say, okay, I've come this far. I'm passionate about what I'm doing. I want to help people. I enjoy it, but I don't enjoy my own current circumstances. So how about we fix that first so that I can come back and then truly be able to help people in a right aspect because I'm speaking from truth now, not just speaking a bunch of nonsense before. Then on the other aspect of it, if I wanted to stay where I'm at and have some long-term stability, you really got to get this thing together. Because then not only is it going to come crashing down one day, Sabrina, you got to be careful because what's done in darkness will come to light. And either you won't be able to handle the pressure of it, or something's going to get exposed, or listen, I would say focus on the inner, and then all of that other stuff will come on the other end, on the outside. And there's nothing wrong with the coach being coached. I had plenty of mentors. I had plenty of people that I look up to. And there's no way that I could be where I'm at here today if I didn't sit down and listen to somebody else. You don't always have to be the smartest person in a room. And actually today, when I'm the smartest person in a room, that only works well for a little while. After that, I'm trying to get out. I want to get into different rooms where I'm not the smartest person in the world. Somebody please teach me something, because most of my life, majority of my life, I thought it was cool to be the smartest person in a room. And exactly what happened was I was the smartest person in a room, and the people who were around me, either they didn't want to elevate to the next level, they weren't on the same page as me. So you got to be very careful when you're always the person who's giving advice. You're always the person that people are running to. You're always the person that people are looking up to, because as you are giving out that energy, when do you get replenished? As soon as you wake up, you're giving, and you don't have anybody in your corner that say, oh, hold up, maybe you might want to do it this way. I see that this is happening, but there might be a better way that you can do it. Let me show you how you can turn this thing around and double and quadruple. Don't be so quick to jump into a situation where you became the expert and everybody's just seeking and pulling and taking from you, and you don't turn around and replenish your own situation. And also, I used to be a know-it-all. Some people still think I'm a know-it-all, but I learned to listen more than I speak. And that was a big lesson, because when I look back at how I used to operate, I used to do a hell of a lot of talking and not a lot of listening. And I used to do a lot of over talking. And that was hard for me to, but I had to get with self and I had to say, okay, yeah, you were doing a little too much. Doing a little bit too much there. Bottom line, start in the inner and it'll appear on the outer. But you got to start with self first. Don't try to dress up the outer. Don't try to put on things. Don't try to purchase things. Don't try to put it all on. because that stuff is temporary. That stuff's going to fade after the clothes are done, after the jewelry, after the cars, after the makeup, after all of that stuff is gone. You still are going to be facing you. You are still going to be dealt with the inner conflict. You're still going to be faced with all of that stuff that you didn't heal from, that you didn't deal with. Anybody out there, if you feel differently, if you want to chime in, you want to let me know what you think about tonight, text me 609-200-1098. Again, that number is 609-200-1098. That is the official 411 podcast Reading Between the Wines hotline. Now we're going to head on into burning questions. And this just flows right on in. So again, same concept. Text me if you want to chime in tonight, 609-200-1098. You can email me at info@larengaines.com. You can also DM me on any of my platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. I believe those are the ones you can DM me on. Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. Everything is at Laren Gaines. Burning question for tonight. Are your thoughts making deposits or withdrawals from your peace of mind? I'll go ahead and say that again. Are your thoughts making deposits or withdrawals from your peace of mind? So this is a deep one, and I can just put it this way. There's the younger version, which is the person who you have been experiencing since 2020. And then there's the older version. The older version is the person that was running the show majority of my life. Younger version is the person who was just born in 2020. So for those of you who knew me before, you don't know me today. I'll say that again. For those of you out there, anybody, whether it's friends, family, old co-workers, for those of you who knew me before 2020, you don't know me today. And depending on the situation, I don't know you either. And I'm going to take it even more deeper, not to be disrespectful, but I'm just keeping it real. And just like you may not know me today, I may not even want to know you. You may not even want to know me. So my thoughts from previous, I was overdrawn. So many withdrawals from my peace of mind. Because I was living from a lower vibrational place. Constantly seeking validation. Doing some of the things that Sabrina was doing. Of course, this sounds so familiar. I was out here podcasting and doing certain things, and behind the scenes, it wasn't what it was really all cracked up to be. And I hear that a lot when it comes to content creators, because we see what other people have and we want what other people have, and we put on a show for people, and sometimes it's not always cracked up what it's be. I've heard that there are certain people that are posing, they're renting cars, they're living in their cars, they're sleeping on people's couches, all types of stuff. It's been a lot that I have seen and heard when it comes to some content creators. Some sort of get rich quick scheme, thinking that they're going to go viral and have a whole bunch of followers and become famous and all of that type of stuff. I never fell into that trap, but I do know, from the aspect of producing content and trying to uplift somebody else before you even decide to uplift yourself. So I was always trying to uplift somebody else. I was always trying to pull somebody else up. And here's another analogy that I came across about a week or two ago, that it is so easy for the enemy to pull you down off the ladder. You're climbing up the ladder. It's so easy for the enemy to pull you down off the ladder because he's already on the ground. She's already on the ground. You're up high. You're climbing up high. And you're reaching your hand down trying to help them get up to where you are. But it takes far more strength for you to try to pull somebody up on your level of the ladder. It's going to take you far more upper body strength for you to try to pull somebody else up that has their feet flat planted on the ground. It's going to take you far more energy and far more strength to pull that person up versus what it's going to take for them to pull you down. So I was always trying to uplift somebody. I was always trying to help somebody get to the same level that I was. Going in lower vibrational places, taking myself to lower vibrational states, finding people in lower vibrational frequency levels, and trying to pull them up to mine. And it just didn't work. And what happened? They pulled me down, right down to their level. And now I was vibrating from a lower vibrational frequency, ready to cuss everybody out, ready to turn into the Tasmanian devil. Had I just minded my business, which I know how to do today, I know how to mind my own business. And that's not coming from an arrogant standpoint. Just listen to, I want y'all to read between the lines, mind your own business. But I learned how to mind my own business and stay exactly where I was. Now, while I'm climbing up the ladder, how about I meet somebody along the way who is either on the same page, on the same level, or they're inspiring me to climb even higher because I want to get to where they are. Instead of looking down on a lower level, lower vibrational level, trying to pull somebody up to my level. And then even if you were strong enough to get them up to your level for a minute, what says they're going to stay there? If they didn't do their workout, if they didn't build their upper body strength, how they going to be able to hold on? So you place them there with you, but you think that they have everything that they need to go ahead and sustain it and maintain it. So yes, I used to have plenty of withdrawals, overdrawn. They might as well have just closed the bank because I had nothing to give to anybody else. I had nothing to cash or repay anything because I was completely withdrawn. But sometimes we got to go on a negative. Sometimes we have to get so far back. And what do they say? Boomerang. You have to be pulled so far back that thing just starts to swing around and comes back in the other direction. So today, my thoughts make deposits. And I'm on point when it comes to those deposits. And I'm not saying that every day is a perfect day. There might be a little withdrawals here or there, but I know that we're not going to go into the negative because there's a lot of things that I understand. And once you know things, it's kind of hard for you to unsee them. Once you see things, it's kind of hard for you to unsee them. And I'll take it there. And I say this plenty of times. Good morning, gorgeous. Mary J. Blige. She has a song called Love Without the Heartbreak. And then I got to take it to my mentor, too. There's two people. Shout out to Mary J. Blige and shout out to my mentor in the Bronx, New York. Mary says, I never claimed to be a genius, but I lived long enough to see this. So even though every day might not be a perfect day, and there might be some withdrawals, because sometimes you may not know everything, you may not see everything, especially when you meet people and you're in new environments. It might take a little bit before you are able to see certain things, but once you see it, you know it. And I never claimed to be a genius, but I lived long enough to see this. So whenever I start to see the signs or somebody starts to remind me of some of the places that I used to be and some of the places that I never want to go, that's when that kicks in. I never claimed to be a genius. Like, I ain't the smartest person in the world, but let me tell you this right here. I live long enough to see this, and this thing right here, I want no parts of it. So now I have the strength, I have the courage, I have the energy, I have the understanding to get up and take responsibility for myself. See, before, when I knew that something wasn't right, I would sit in it. I would be stuck in it because I didn't know how to get up and take responsibility for myself. And I always was worried about the other person. I was always worried about somebody else's feelings and what would they think and what would they do. And today, I cannot be responsible for anybody else's nervous system. It is a full-time job managing my own. So I cannot be responsible for nobody else's feelings, but I'm going to take responsibility for myself. So the question that I have to ask each and every one of you out there, are your thoughts making deposits or withdrawals from your peace of mind? And I told you today I give people a peace of mind. This version of this person that you are hearing today, this is me giving you the peace of my mind. The version from the past, I would give people a piece of my mind. I would give you that get right energy. I would give you that who you speaking to, who you talking to like that. That type of person. Oh, well, I know that they ain't say nothing to me. I know they ain't looking at me like that. Who that person think they is? I used to do all of that. 10 times worse than what anybody could ever imagine. I don't even want to think about that anymore. I don't even want to take it there anymore. And the beauty about it is that no one can make me take it there. The only person that can allow that to happen is myself. See, before I thought that people were doing things to me, but they were actually doing things for me. They were teaching me a lesson about how to have some self-control, which I had none of it. And I had a conversation yesterday with somebody about self-control. During this conversation, I won't name the individual because it's just too much. I'm not going to do that. But it was a close family member. And his close family member says that as I get older, Laren, I get angry. As I get older, people were able to make me, they basically worded it as they easily angered. As they get older, they get easily angered. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's incorrect. Because I think about just think about a little child having a tantrum. I used to do that, but it didn't stop. It carried on until I was 30, 39. I didn't start to really stop having these fits until I was 39 years old. And I said, I'm going to get in my life, maybe 38. Last end of 38, my birthday, December, around that time frame, December 38. I said, absolutely not. 39, I was calmed down. I wasn't having major crazy tantrums, but my mouth was a trip. I could bring several people down to their knees immediately. And without even raising my voice, just the slick words that would come out of my mouth would make a grown man cry. Not proud of it, but that's reality. So I'm thinking to myself, well, as you get older, you're easily angered. That's a problem. Because, see, we have been commanded that our job is to have self-control. So now if you let some outside source, people, places, material things, whatever the circumstances may be, get you angered, and then easily on top of that, you already lost the game. I tell my daughters all the time, the minute that you go back and forth, round and round, debating or arguing with somebody about something that is outside of you, you've already lost the game. So once you argue and debate, go back and forth, round and round, lowering your vibration, screaming, yelling, cussing, wanting to fight somebody, you've already lost the game and you've given up your power. See, the true power comes in when you start to learn how to have self-control. And I don't care what you say, I don't care what you do, as long as you don't put your hands on me. You're not going to have me step out of my character and start becoming somebody that I know I'm not. Now, I'm glad and I'm thankful and I'm proud that I'm able to say that today, but I couldn't say that before because I was everything but that. You said something, I was ready to go upside your head. You said this, I was ready to just go in and let you know. And not only let you know, but let everybody around you know. Let the wave keep rippling until everybody knew. We don't have to do all that today. So I don't know who I'm speaking to tonight. I'm just speaking from experience. But if you're easily angered, people peace of mind. They're just taking withdrawals left and right. And we are all energy. Like I said, we are all interconnected. We are all one and the same. So whenever you get angry, all that energy that you are releasing, you're giving somebody else power. That's how that works. If someone is doing something on purpose and angering you on purpose and pushing your buttons on purpose and doing things to get you angry on purpose, and if we're all energy, we're all interconnected, we are all one and the same, we all in this universe together. When you release that good energy, you become depleted and the other person takes your energy. They're energy vampires. Now, you don't have to believe me if you don't want to. Like I said, I don't know who I'm speaking to. I'm just speaking from experience. But one moment of anger gives you, I believe I had this written down, one day of anger gives you 40 days of sorrow. 1 minute of anger will give you 40 days of sorrow. And all you're doing is poisoning your own system. All you're doing is digging your own grave. Because anger, all that does is poison your system, your own system. Having said that, I am so thankful that I'm still here because I've done enough for a lifetime. And I believe that that is the reason why I'm not easily angered today. I don't think that there's anything that anybody can do. And I'm not trying to tempt anybody because I don't want to experience it, because just as I'm saying this, I do know that the older version is still within me. But the younger version of me is in control today. I have self-control today. But I'm not going to put myself in environments. I'm not going to put myself in situations where there's people who are willing to and ready to withdraw from my peace of mind, because my peace of mind is everything to me. So because of that, I'm going to protect that and I'm going to nurture it, and I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make sure that we don't go back to where we used to be. With that, I want to say thank you all so much for joining in and hanging on in there with me tonight. I see y'all out there. Thank you so much. Again, I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. I am on X, YouTube, TikTok, DLive, Twitch, Daily Motion. Everything is at Laren Gaines. You can head on over to LarenGaines.com. If there is anything tonight that you have heard that sparked something in you, if there's anything that you might have said, I think I might want to learn a little bit more about what he's speaking about, you can head on over to LarenGaines.com and sign up for my free 15-minute consultation. And we can sit down, have our private one-on-one conversation, and see if I'm a good fit to bring you on a coaching program. Again, everything is at LarenGaines.com. Phone number 609-200-1098. You can text me 609-200-1098. You may also sign up for my free monthly newsletter, Whispers of Wisdom. Awesome, inspirational, motivational, debt-free living content delivered to your inbox once a month. Again, all of that information is at LarenGaines.com. And on that note, I want to say thank you so much for everybody who's been out there listening. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, tag a friend, invite your friend on in. Tomorrow, we are going to have Transformational Tuesday, same place, same time. I'll see you tomorrow. And on that note, thank you so much. And I'll see you when I see you. Take care, y'all. Have a good night. Head on over to LarenGaines.com. Sign up for that free 15-minute consultation.